Hey everybody, it is Laura with Laura and the Party Animals, and today I have Daisy, and Daisy is a Uromastic lizard, and these guys are from Africa, and they have a cool dragon tail, and she does not particularly want me petting her right now. She also sees the iguana over there and the cat, so wigging out a little bit. So anyway, today I wanted to tell you the true story of Cocaine Bear, and I'm putting the Uromastic down here. So anyway, in 1985, there was a guy by the name of Andrew Thornton, and he used to be military, and then he went to be a NARC officer. Then he decided to be an attorney, and then he ended up saying he's going to, I guess, go and be a drug smuggler. So that was his last job, obviously. So anyway, him and another guy are flying on around September the 10th. Some reports say the 10th around 11:30 at night. Some of them say September the 11th on 1985. They're flying this Cessna plane, like it seats like 6 people. It's not a very big plane. And they overhear and they intercept radio communications, and they hear the radio saying these federal agents, I guess they're federal agents, talking where they're flying and they're going after this Cessna plane. So they're tracking them and they're following them, and this Andrew Thornton, this drug smuggler, he realizes, okay, that is them they're talking about. So he has a co-pilot in there. And it turns out the co-pilot really knew nothing about this. This story goes on to say that. So this Andrew Thornton decides they're going to abandon the plane, and he grabs the co-pilot and he puts the plane in autopilot, and they're just like, well, or I can't say the pilot, this Andrew Thornton guy, he goes to the main cabinet and he signals the co-pilot, hey, come with me. And the pilot starts throwing out all this luggage, like massive amounts of luggage, and starts attaching the parachutes to him. And then they put parachutes on both of them, and they jump out of the plane. And is what he's doing, and he's attempting to smuggle over $50 million worth of a cocaine into the U.S. Now, they're flying over northern Georgia, and I guess their route was to Knoxville, Tennessee. So, so they jump out of the plane, and then 5 hours later, in Knoxville, Tennessee, this elderly gentleman by the name of Fred Myers, he's in his bathroom, and he's getting ready, and he's shaving and, brushing his teeth, everything you do in the morning. And this is before sunset. Evidently, he gets up early. And he's looking out the window, and he sees something totally weird in his driveway. So he walks up to the window. Well, actually, he wasn't looking out the window. He was shaving and all that when he sees, out of the corner of his eye, something weird in the driveway. So he walks over to the window, and he's like, oh my gosh, what is that? So anyway, it turns out that this Andrew Thornton, which was the pilot of this Cessna plane, his parachute failed. So it failed. And so he finds this dead pilot guy, evidently all over the drive with parachute. And so, the cops come out the next morning, and I was trying to update here. Let's see. Okay, so the cops come out, and they see that this guy is he's wearing all the military gear. He has the bulletproof vest. He has a bunch of guns. He's got gold on him. This dead guy who I'm talking about, this pilot. And yet he's got designer shoes on. And they're like, well, wait a minute. He's not a military guy. So anyway, they start figuring out who this guy is. Because remember, this is 1985. This is before DNA could just be uploaded and know who they were. So they're tracking all this down. And anyway, that they link it back to this guy. Well, come November of 1985, so all this luggage is all over this forest in northern Georgia, and this bear comes across this luggage, and he sees one of the bags, and he gets into it, tears it open, and he starts eating it all, and then he's like, "Ooh, this tastes good." And anyway, he continues to eat it all, and by the time he's done, evidently he eats 40 bags of cocaine. Well, of course, this kind of amount of drugs kills him pretty much instantly. He has a heart attack, he has a stroke, his organs all fell. I mean, it's so sad for this bear who was just living his life out there. Really, really bad. So, anyway, this hunter, come December the 23rd of 1985, this hunter is, hunting out there, and he comes across the dead bear. And he doesn't understand, because this bear is young, and he doesn't understand, well, how did this bear die? Because it doesn't look like there's any kind of gunshots to him or any kind of, thing, like another animal would have fought him or anything like that. And anyway, so he goes back to his friend, and they start linking up all these stories between the, dead parachute guy and the luggage stuff, and they talk to the cops and the federal agents, and they start realizing this is all, the same story. This is all linked together. So anyway, when they send the bear out for the autopsy, the taxidermist, they know how much coke is in there and how he died at this time. And instead of basically they taxidermy this bear. So they decide they're gonna, taxidermy it and keep it. Well, evidently everybody wanted this body of this bear, and he gets stolen twice. He ends up getting bought by Waylon Jennings, and then, he goes to several different homes before he finally finds his permanent place, which is on display. So the upcoming movie, that's what this is about. It is about the cocaine bear, and it seems really cool. It seems like a very interesting story. I feel so horrible for the bear. That's so very sad. But anyway, that's the story of Cocaine Bear. See ya.